What's going on, guys, and welcome to BullgearRC videos. Now today we are going to be revisiting the Kyosho Mini-z 4x4. Now if you've seen the last video I did, we installed some hex adapters so that we could put on some different tires on this thing. If you've seen that video, you might remember me saying that I'm a fan of industry standards, and to do this modification, you know, we had to change some things up. And well, Kyosho kind of went their own way with this truck, and that's kind of causing me a little bit of issue here. When we look at the steering, it really doesn't like these bigger, grippier, weightier tires, the new little bit of wider stance. And another thing about this thing is, you see, it's look, sometimes it's a pain to get this thing to go into reverse. You have to, you know, get this throttle just in the right position. And you know, I much prefer the way, you know, axial or any of the other controllers work. So what we're going to do today is we're going to look at fixing this thing. We're going to look at standardizing this thing so that we can, you know, put our more common components in here. So let's start with looking at the servo. All right, so in looking at the Kyosho servo, it's in this Mini-z 4x4. I don't know if we can see, but we got, looks like 4 screws, or at least 2 screws, that come in from the sides and hold this thing in, which is not like our standard servos that we find in other mini crawlers. And another thing is, we have these AAA batteries sitting sort of up high, putting a lot of weight up high. And we have also, this is a 5-wire servo, where most of our replacement servos are going to be of the 3-wire variety. So we can, in this truck, install a 1S lipo and be okay with these electronics. But, you know, what if we want to use a 2S lipo? Well, it just so happens, guys, I have a solution to all of these things. All right, so this, guys, is our solution. This comes to me from a gentleman on eBay, Mr. I don't want to pronounce his name wrong. He's Sleekin on eBay. And I will leave a link to that. But this is Mr. Swaney. I hope I didn't pronounce his name wrong, but he does 3D printed parts, and he's been working on the Kyosho Mini-z. So what we have here, guys, is we have a complete new electronics setup for this. This is a battery tray. This is servo mount, and also electronics tray for in the rear of this truck, so that we can go ahead and start to standardize the parts on our Mini-z, and I think reach the full potential of what this truck can actually be. And I think this truck can be a really good performing truck. And so we're going to put some of this stuff on here. We're going to change out the servo. We're going to go up to a 2S lipo. We're going to get rid of these batteries. We're going to get a 2S lipo sitting down lower in here. And we'll be able to put in, you know, electronics of our choice so that we can run this whole thing. Now, I do like the motor setup that's in here. And if you'll notice right here, guys, what we have right here are these are the little motor adjuster plates that come here. So on stock one, you get 2 different plates, so you can put a 10-tooth pinion or bigger pinions, make it go faster. Well, what these do, these ones allow us to go with either a 8 or a 9 tooth or even a 7 tooth pinion gear. So we'll be able to gear this thing down. We'll be able to volt it up with a 2S lipo pack and put it down lower. We'll be able to put us a good servo in here, and we'll be able to get rid of these electronics and put electronics of our choice. So that's what we're going to be doing today. And not to mention, Sleeken also does roof racks with a light bar. This will go on top. And as you've seen here, he also does some scale accessories. So he's a good source to check out if you're gonna modify your Kyosho Mini-z. And it just so happens, guys, to check this out. He sent me a giveaway bag, which contains one of these kits for the electronics upgrade. Looks like it's got some scale accessories in here. I don't know what all it's got in here. I think it's got another. It's got the pinion gear covers too, so we can adjust and put some extra pinion gears in here. I believe that's what's in here. And as you can see, he marked it as giveaway because I told him I would be doing a video on this, and he actually sent me something to give away to one of you viewers who might have a Kyosho Mini-z. So let's get started on this. I'm not probably going to show you all the assembly that's required on this. I might do a couple little highlights, but Brian does have a YouTube channel, and he does go through in great detail how this is installed, and also how to install the smaller gears in your on your pinion. And also he has modification mounts so that we can add our SCX24 hot racing aluminum shocks to this rig if we want to. So I'll leave a link in the description below. Now I'm going to turn off the camera and I'm going to start working on this thing, and if I run into anything that I want to highlight, I'll go ahead and show you that, and we'll see if we can get this thing done. Alright guys, so off camera I went ahead and I got this thing turned into a running truck with no Kyosho electronics left in it except for the motor. So let's move around to the front right off the bat, because the steering servo was the main issue, and we had to be able to get a different kind of steering servo in here. And what I've done is I went with the this is an Eco Power digital sub micro 13 gram servo, and this, guys, is the biggest servo you're going to fit in this thing, dimensional wise. Let's see, there's the dimensions. I'm not going to read them off, but you can check the specs online or something. This is pretty much the biggest servo you're going to be able to fit. It is larger than the SCX24 servo. I think the SCX24 servo would work fine in here. Servo mounting is pretty easy. These little tabs, these little L-shaped brackets, fit to your servo. You can do it this way if you have a wider servo, or you can turn them around this way if you have a narrower servo. So it's got a lot of adjustability. As you can see, there's slots here, and up here in our shock mounts there's a row of holes, so we can adjust our servo up and down. We can adjust it in and out depending on whatever servo you put in there. But like I said, once again, this is the biggest servo I think we're going to fit in here with the Toyota body and still get the body on. Now with the Jimny it might be different. So moving on to the steering horn, I had to kind of make something work. So what I did is I cut off one of the steering horns that came with this servo, and I used the ball from the Kyosho Mini-z. However, the threads on this ball were far too small for this steering horn, so I cut the end off of the Kyosho steering horn where the ball threaded up into it, and I just kind of used that as a nut to put it on top. I threaded up in there and then I just filed it off down to where the end of the threads are, and that seems to be working out pretty well for us. Now moving on to the battery tray, I did find that the 2S lipo from the SCX24 was a bit large, so I went and picked up this little Venom 7.4 volt 250. This is the replacement battery for a Losi Trail Trekker, I believe. So yeah, we had to do a little soldering, get the ends right. And what I put on here, I took the a case off of one of the little Axial SCX24 electronics ESC receiver combos, and I just used that for some electronics for now. And without the case on it, it fits nicely down in between the frame rails. I don't have it sitting on the actual electronics tray at the moment, and this might be a temporary thing. I don't know. I might change out the ESC, but right now, yes, we have a 2S lipo. We got some good electronics in here. We don't have to fiddle with reverse anymore. We've got a much stronger steering servo that's up to the task of turning these weighted wheels with a wider stance. And it's pretty good modification, guys. I think this truck is going to be a lot better now. Just running around here in the motel room doing my usual motel room testing. This thing is working real good. So I'll get a run video going with this. And as you can see, with all these electronics, everything fits up under the hood. The bigger servo, it all fits in here nicely. And I haven't done the gear ratio modifications yet, but we'll get to that here maybe in another video. But yeah, this thing's working good. Got lots of speed with the 2S. So, and we also have, you know, good crawling control. So, anyway, yeah, we'll do a run video with this thing and show you all how it's performing now. All right, guys, if you stayed till the end, good on you. Now we're going to do this giveaway. And what we're going to be giving away is compliments of Brian Swaney, or Sleekin, as he's known on eBay and YouTube. And I will leave links in the description below to the installation videos on these performance kits. These kits are scale accessories. That's pretty self-explanatory. This is a magnetic mount, so that will, you know, just stick on the top of your truck. You have to probably glue some little metal or something in there. But what we're going to do, guys, is we are going to give this whole package away. This is going to be scale, accessories, electronics upgrade, tray, mounting, servo mount, you know, the whole thing. Everything that I've installed in here, you know, of course, minus the servo, the battery, and the ESC, but everything that I use to mount this, everything you see here. So if you do have a Kyosho Mini-z and you're interested in winning all this stuff here, just leave a comment down below. Tell me what model Mini-z you have and that you're interested to win. We'll let the comments stay open for about a week for that, doing entries, and then we will just write them all down, give everybody's name and number, and we will pick a random number, and whoever wins that, we will send this package out to. And if you don't claim your package after a certain amount of days, then we will do another drawing and give it to somebody else. So, with that being said, till next time, guys, old Uncle Lee, BullgearRC Videos said, I'll see ya.